Hello, today we will cover a tiling window manager, and this tiling window manager is present in Antix. Believe it or not, it is present in Antix, and we will cover it today. So let us start with the Antix. I start with the login screen. If you notice down there you have Herbstluftwm. If you press F1, it will change all the window managers that are available. But let us start first with this Herbstluftwm. Let me press enter. Okay, and as you notice, there is a panel here which doesn't have anything. It's only a small panel with the numbers. I think these are the tags that are available in Herbstluft. We have a help, and we have another desktop which give us if we want to go back to another window manager. If you notice, they are tiled. This one is not a floating like you see it in Antix, in IceWM or JWM, but it gives me another choice if I want to go back. So let me put cancel, and if you notice, it is tiled. So if you want to make it floating, we will learn how to make it also a floating window. So let me put cancel, and let us look at the help file. So basically what is he is telling us in the help is we have the mod key, which is the Windows key, mod 4 or mod, and if I press mod shift Q, it will go to the login screen, so I can go back to IceWM or the other. So super shift Q or mod shift Q will login screen. Mod shift B will reboot. Mod return terminal. So if I press mod return, we have the terminal. And if you notice, it is tiled on this way. If you want to tile it on the other side, you press Win space. It will be on this side. So let me exit this one. The other thing is mod D is a D menu. So if I press super D, you will have this menu. Let me say I want to go to the control panel. And the control panel in Antix is Antix CC. Antix CC. I press enter. And if you notice also, it is a tiled window. So you can change whatever you want in this one. Let me keep it. And we'll continue. Mod O is split the screen horizontally. I will not cover these because these are concerning the frames. I just want to focus on using the mouse as much as possible. Mod shift Q, the same here. It will quit, and mod shift R is reload. Mod shift C is close. So here, if I want to press mod shift C, it will close this window. Let us cover the others. These I will not cover also because it needs key bindings. I want to give a basic understanding of this styling window manager, so how we can use it. Splitting frames, it is the same thing. I will not cover it. We'll cover it in another video. Resizing, the same. Here you have mod return is, it will open the terminal as we checked. Mod D or super D, it will go to D menu. And mod N is spawn Firefox-ESR. If I press mod N, it will not, because Firefox is not installed. You have to install Firefox in order to use it. So these are basically it. As you notice, we have a useless menu here, and if you are new to tiling, you would directly go out because you will not know what we will do. So what I will do now is I want to change the config files to make it more pleasant, and later on we will go over this tiling window manager and its power. So let me go out. So super shift Q, and I press the username, password, I press F1, Let me go to Rocks IceWM. I press enter. Okay, let me change the wallpaper. I go control panel, choose wallpaper, apply. It's okay. Let me change the conky, desktop conky off, desktop conky off. So that's the IceWM. So first we have to start, where is the config file? So the config file is, you go to File Manager, Display, Show Hidden, you go to .config, Herbstluftwm, and this is the auto start. So I right click on it and open it with Leafpad. As you notice, this is a bash file. It has all the configuration that are to be used in Herbstluftwm. So first off, we have Herbst client. This is the binary which manipulates Herbstluft. So instead of Herbst client, in this config file you can use HC. The other thing is, it gives me the configuration, the scripts, exset root dash solid if you are using a background. If you want another background, you can use feh, so it will give me another background. The other thing is leafpad herbstluft help.txt, which is the file that we have before. So let me remove this one. The other one is for the X resources. If there's some settings in the X resources, let me keep it. Herbst client key unbind all. So if you have some key bindings that are defined inside the session, it will be unbinded. Next mod equal mod 4. This is the one that you saw in the help file, but now we can change here in the config. Now we can change everything. So here HC means Herbst client. So Herbst client is telling Herbstluft that there is a keybind mod shift Q, and if you press it, it will quit. Another keybind mod shift R reload. So this is how you can do anything. Let's say I want to keybind mod shift T spawn. I put spawn, and let's say I want to spawn Firefox. So I write here Firefox directly. Let us keep these ones. Basic movement and tiling, I will not cover these two. Also splitting I will not cover. Resizing I'll keep it as default. Here the open apps, if you notice, there's Herbst client, there's the keybind mod return. It will spawn the terminal, which is Rocksterm. And if I press mod D, which I did before, it will spawn the menu dash run. Next, here we have the tag names. It is defining all the tag names that will be used in Herbstluft. So you can keep it as by default here. Layout, the same thing. If you want to make it as floating, you press mod S. It will make it floating toggle on off. Mod F, full screen toggle. If you have two windows, you want to toggle between them, you use mod F. You can change it. You can make it mod E if you want. So it is up to you. This is about the mouse bind. Also, I will keep them. The themes, it will give me the gaps between the frames, all of the data that you need to do, the colors, etc. Also, I will keep with the basic ones. The window gap is 0. You can make it 2, 3. And the other thing is about the rules. Every window has a rule. Let's say I want to I want to write some rules. So what we can do is, let me go here. I will write HC rule class equals GTK dialog, and I will tell you why I chose this one. Floating equal on. So what happens here, why I choose this one, I made a rule. If a certain window class is GTK dialog, the floating is on. How I put these, let me tell you, each window you can do it for, so that you will have a lot of windows which will directly go to floating. For example, let's say this control panel, I open it, and I open also the terminal. So we have the terminal and we have the control panel that was in a tiling mode before. So here, what we can do is we press X prop. I'll pick the cursor, I'll pick it on inside Antix CC, and it tell me the WM class is GTK dialog and capital GTK dialog. If you want to put class, you need the capital one or the second one. So you say rule, if the class is capital GTK dialog, it should be floating. So when I go to Herbstluft, this one will be pointed out that it should be floating. You can also make floating for another one. Let's say for the choose wallpaper. If I press this one, this is the choose wallpaper. Let me check what is the class of it. I press it and I will look for the class. So it is capital wallpaper. So what I will do here, let me come back here. I'll press HC rule, class equals wallpaper, also floating equals on. So it's good. So HC's set tree style is this one. These are manual for manual tiling window manager. I will also not cover it. HC unlock, HC detect monitors. Another thing, find a panel. So we have a panel here and it tells me to execute panel.sh. Let me remove these. I don't want any panel. I will remove these. Let me file, save. There is one thing I want to add. I want to add a panel. So the panel that I want to add, let me add it down, is I want to add tint 2. Okay. File, save. So I added tint 2, but unfortunately we don't have tint 2. So let me install it. Sudo apt install tint 2. I'll put the password. Okay, and it has finished now. If you want, let us run tint 2 and check it. Oh, it's telling me another sys3 is running because we are using the other one. So let us check it outside. So I will exit. Let me exit everything here. Let me close everything. We'll close this one. I will close this one. And let me log out and log in again. Log out. I will put my username, my password, and I press F1, 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 F1 for Herbstluftwm. I press enter. And if you notice, the help screen has gone. This one is kept like this. So let me put cancel. And I have, this is Herbstluft. If you notice here, the green border, it is also in the setting. And I have here the tint 2. Tint 2 is available here. Let me press the tint 2 setting. And if you notice the tint 2 setting, let me add some things here so that the launcher, let me add first, we can add Go down the control center. Let me add it. I want to add, you can add whatever you want. For example, you can add Rockster for the panel, and let me add ZZZFM also for the manager. Okay, and I press apply. Okay, so now I have tint 2 with all these available. Let me press the control center. If you notice now, the control center is floating, so I can use it whatever I want. The wallpaper, also the wallpaper is floating because we have put it in the rules. So let me put apply, and it is fixed like this. If I want to close it, what I like about tint 2 is it is like openbox. So if you right click here, it will close. That's what I like about it. The other thing that we want to talk about is let's say I want to open the terminal. I press the first one. This is the first terminal. It will take the whole screen. I'll press another time. It will take this screen. If I want to make them horizontal, I press shift space. It will be like this. Another thing we can do, if I press, let's say I will call this one number 2, and this is number 1. Let's say I want number 1 alone. What I can do is I press this one, I press it again, so it will be number 1. This is number 2. If I want this one number 2. So you can use the mouse in order to make this one full screen or not a full screen. Another thing you can do is you can take one of them into another tag. If I press Win Shift 2, for example, if you notice here we have 1, we are in tag 1. If I want to go to tag 2, or I want to take this one to tag 2, I'll press Win Shift 2. So now this is in tag 2. Here we have tag 1. Let me change some things here. Let me close this one. You will not see the 2, you will only see 1. Let me change this one first. I will go to the taskbar, and in the taskbar we have show desktop name. There is something we can use in order to always show all desktop tasks. I press it, I press apply. That's not the case. Or show a taskbar for each desktop. This is the one. Let me go that way. Hide inactive tasks if you want. No. Hide tasks from different. For empty desktops, I will hide it also. I press apply. So now I have, this is desktop 1 and this is desktop 2. So this 2, if I wanted to go back to desktop 1, or let me close this one. I right click on this one, it will close. Let me cancel. This one I will right click, it will close. So I have 1 and 2. If I want 2 to go to 1, I'll press Mode Shift 1. So all of them now is in 1. If you want to close both of them, so these are both are closed. Let me say I want to open ZZZFM. So I have now 3, but we are showing only 1. If I want the second one, I will put it. If I want the third one, I will put it. So I have the 3 ones that are available. If you want to minimize directly with the mouse, you can minimize. Let's say this one, I will remove it. I want to remove this one, I will get this one. There are many things to tweak about Herbstluft. I will not cover most of them, but the ones that you can tweak, for example, let's say I want to log out. To log out, there is an option in Antix, is desktop-session-exit, and you press enter. If you notice, this is a floating window which is very small. It is already tiled, so we need to make it as a floating one. So these are the things that I am talking about. You have to get all the floating ones that are available in Antix and put them in the rules just one time. For example, let's change this one. So what we can do is you go to, let me go to xprop, okay, and I'll check this one. You get the name of it is desktop. This is desktop-session-exit.py. So I put copy here. I will go here. Oh, there's too much here. I remove this one. I remove this one, remove this one, remove this one. Okay, so we have to go to, first you have to view hidden files .config, herbstluftwm, and auto start. Open with leaf pad. You go down to the rules. Here you put HC rule class equal. You put this one, floating equal on, and that's it. You save it. After you save it, you put mod shift R or super shift R to restart it. And here for this one, let me remove it. This one is mod shift C to close it. You come back. There's too much here now. Let me change this one to another place. So mod shift 2. So we have this one alone, mod shift 2. So here if I press the desktop dash session dash exit, so now it is a floating one. So these are the things that you need to do in order to make it more and more accessible without the using of the key bindings. Of course, by the use of the key bindings, you will have more freedom and you can make maybe more productive. But step by step, using the mouse, using Tint 2, you can step by step start to learn about tiling window manager and how to customize it. And if you want to more customize the Tint 2, you can go over to a link I already will include about customizing Fluxbox in Antix. It talks about Tint 2, how to add also a logout button here, or also to install XFCE for App Finder here. And also after you install the XFCE for App Finder, you have to make it floating. That is it for now. I hope you liked this Herbstluftwm window manager. It is a good window manager, especially if you are using Tint 2. It will make it more and more pleasant to use. For more and more advanced features of this window manager, we will keep it to another session. I want to prepare another one so you can benefit with all the key bindings and also with all the customization that needs to be done in order to be more effective in Herbstluftwm. That's it for now, and we will be back in another video.